Hello, my name is Teresa Micheletti, and this site is Take What Rings True. So, I'm going to speak about some spiritual things, and you're going to decide whether it's true for you or not. If it's not true for you, let it drop away. You don't need to believe anything I say. Today, I'm going to be talking about narcissists and negative, mean spirited people. So, we were created with free will. And some use that free will to negate the light of our Creator. Now, you can call it Source, you can call it God, you can call it Creator, whatever you want to call that essence, then that's your truth. So, some people use free will to negate the light of our Creator, and they choose lifetimes with negative traits. So, among these traits of some negative people are they're mean spirited, they're rebellious, they could be cruel, they could be hateful, dishonest, devious, take no responsibility for their actions, and blame others for everything. Narcissist, according to Webster's dictionary, is an extremely self centered person who has an exaggerated sense of self importance. Now, when you first meet narcissists, they can seem to be so in tune with you, so charming, often because they're good mimics. If you were a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, so were they. If you love punk rock, so do they. If you like reading science fiction, so do they. And on it goes until they gain your trust. They are great at acting like a wonderful person, but for a narcissist, it's a performance to get you close and then take credit and no blame for anything that happens. They might be very spiritual on the surface. They may have memorized the whole Bible and can quote things to you, but that doesn't mean they're believing anything they say. They put on a performance to get you where they want you, and then they try to control you. They have bad behavior, which is totally acceptable to them. But if you mirror that bad behavior back to them, you are wrong. You are horrible. You should feel guilty. Inconsistency keeps you off balance, and they have the power. Their goal is to have you depressed, feeling guilty, and doubting yourself. Some narcissists prey on people's fears. An example might be leaders of doomsday cult groups. Some people are mean spirited because they're in pain, not because they're a narcissist. They have mental or physical pain, or they may be mentally ill. Sometimes your best friend on the other side, when they come into this life, is mean to you because they volunteered to help you learn a lesson or have certain experiences. I remember one hypnosis client of mine who was in a past life ignored and felt unworthy in a lifetime when she lived with 4 of her relatives. And she couldn't get out of that situation. And she found that life to be horrid. However, when we explored that further, we found that the life just before that, she had ignored her family and made them feel unworthy. So this was a balance of experience, not a narcissist. If you don't like someone in this life, that doesn't mean they're a narcissist. If someone has a bad temper or hurts you, that does not mean that they negated God's light. Even a murderer could be a good person and play a role for God. Say you were a soldier in 3 lifetimes and you killed many people. Maybe you wanted to experience being killed. You could ask for a friend to play that role in this lifetime. It seems awful, but we come into life to experience things. So we need to judge people's actions and not judge their soul, because sometimes we can't figure out if they're a good person or not. So for me, If they're not being nice to me, if they're being harmful, if they're being mean, then to me, they need to go away or I need to step away from them. Sometimes, as Shakespeare would say, the person comes with a flowering face. They can be so charming to win you over, but they can't hold the charm forever. When they have your trust and they have control of you, I was engaged to such a person, very charming, sweet, attentive, and then very controlling. I was constantly put down or guilty of something that had no real guilt. However, being a nice person, I was only paying attention to the very few and very far between times when he was nice, when he'd done something comforting, like hugging me when my aunt died, or the pet endearing name he used for me. Eventually, I figured out he was trying to manipulate me all the time, control my life, keep my friends away from me, keep me off kilter, try to get me to quit college. Once he had me close to him and he had gained my trust, his true colors started coming out. Yet I thought I could get him back to being the nice, charming, wonderful person he pretended to be when we first met. Some people will never change. We need to reflect and be watchful and not allow such people to dim our light. If we don't reflect, we're often caught in this loop. If our life is not going well, we need to stop and think about why is that happening? Are we keeping people in our lives who are making our life worse? We tend to want to help people. If we feel someone's been misunderstood or lost, but we want to help. We want to help them, but some people will never accept our help. They're not going to change. So appealing to my ex's conscience did nothing. Logic did nothing. His actions were never going to make sense. When I finally figured out my ex was never going to change, that he was trying to dampen my spirit and dim my light, I walked away. Now, I wrote my ex into many lifetimes and only finally walked out in this lifetime. So don't beat yourself up if you have not figured out you need to walk away from someone. So, if a hurtful person is in your midst and it's a parent, one of your parents, and you need to be with them as a caretaker or protector for a sibling, then try to limit your interactions with them as much as possible. Be invisible. I've talked about this before. You can ask to be invisible and only interact with this person when you need to. If they're in your chart and you need to interact with them, fine, bring it on. But if you don't need to, then you can be invisible to them, which is kind of nice because they just ignore you. So you don't have that constant like around you. People listening to this live probably have the light from our Creator within. You have integrity and compassion, and you give love out to people. Some people choose not to accept God's light, like my ex fiance. Most of the time, when such people are in your midst, you can walk away from them. But if it's your child or your parent, you can't always do that. If a mean-spirited person or a narcissist is someone you cannot walk away from, then dampen the effect they have on you. Consider making a list of what protections you want each day and what tools you can use each day, or make up a prayer for yourself. First, these are some suggestions. Think of drawing a mental circle around you and ask that anyone who's not in your chart drop away. So maybe that yucky neighbor who's always mean and hurtful can just drop away, or you could be invisible to them. Second, use platinum columns. Platinum columns are energies from our Creator that we are allowed to use while we're incarnate on Earth. And you can place like two columns, one on each side of your door, one on each side of your gate to your property, on the corners of your property, in the windows. Don't put it in the middle of the room because the more you use it, you can actually literally bump into it. I have a relative who was married to a narcissist. So I put platinum columns on the sides of her doorways, and he would come in to the house and then he would just like walk through. He wouldn't spend a lot of time there. He would check on the dog or check on the family member, and then he would walk out. He didn't like to spend time in the house. And I think it was because of the platinum columns. I also put up a blue flame wall along all of her walls. And blue flame, white hot blue flame, is cool to the touch, but neutralizes negativity. So I made her walls be blue flame. Ask for angels. Every day, ask for angels to protect you and help you in all ways possible. If you have a specific need, specifically task the angels with doing that. So say your niece is in a custody battle with a stepdad, and you don't want the stepdad to hurt her or harm her in any way. So ask for the angels to protect your niece and keep her safe from harm. Keep the stepdad from hurting her. Another thing you can do is cut the cord. Whenever you meet someone or whenever you're with someone, an etheric cord connects you to that person. And the more you're with them, the stronger the cord is. So if you have a yucky boss, a yucky neighbor, a narcissist aunt, then think of literally, mentally, think of cutting that cord with a sword or with scissors. Ask your angels or your spirit guides to help you cut the cord, connecting you to whoever you want to be disconnected from. Each day, mentally put yourself and your loved ones in a blue flame bubble so that when the negativity that somebody's sending out to you comes, then it neutralizes and just like drops away. So if you think of that blue bubble being outside of you and that it neutralizes the negativity within you that you already accepted from them, you can mentally like neutralize that negativity. You can put up the walls of blue flame. If you work in an office, think of a wall of blue flame. Even if you're in a big room with lots of desks, just put a wall of blue flame or a bubble of blue flame around your space. So somebody has to walk through that blue flame and neutralize the negativity before they get to you. Take care of yourself. Eat good food, rest, go for a walk, or whatever renews you. If you feel better and take care of yourself, you're better able to help the people you want to help and need to help. But if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't help anybody, any positive person. Also, ask for your emotion and intellect to be in balance and cement them together so that you're thinking clearly each day. Ask for your aura to be intact and color corrected. That's the electrical emanation around you. It's a protection layer. Ask for spiritual lights to help you each day. So you can surround yourself with a bubble of light, say, white light of protection, the pink light of love, sky blue light of tranquility and calm. You can also think of breathing those in. Breathe in the pink light of God's love. Raise your vibration. And many times people will just drop away. Negative people don't want to be around your light. So, how would you do that? First, you need to get rid of the stuff that you're holding on to. So, in your mind, take some time and replay the awful things that have happened in this category. Feel the emotion of those negative experiences. cry, hit a pillow, smash a cardboard box, primal scream. And then after you've experienced that emotion, let those thoughts drop away. And then do something that raises your mood, that also raises your vibration. Watch a silly movie. Listen to your favorite music. Dance. Sing. Go for a walk. Watch silly puppy movies. Laughter dispels negativity. Sometimes you can't get away from narcissists or negative people. My friend Sylvia had a mom who was a dark-spirited, mean person who even tried to kill her. Sylvia would even thanked her mom. She didn't know what she was thanking her for, but Sylvia thanked her mom because she learned how not to act by watching her mom. She would do the opposite of what her mom did because her mom was so mean and evil-spirited. The reason we come into life is to overcome experiences. Sometimes that experience is a mean, spiteful person. It could be your boss. Maybe your lesson is you need to change jobs. Maybe your lesson is you need to leave that relationship, like I did with my ex. Perhaps you need to cut the cord to your sister or your dad. You are a child of your true parent, your creator. If your dad in this life is harmful, maybe you need to walk away. If you need to stay for some reason, then try being invisible. Set up some platinum columns. Don't give your power away to a mean-spirited person or a narcissist. If you need help disengaging from someone, then get help. Talk to someone, perhaps a counselor. Maybe find a women's shelter. Take some time to reflect today. Is there a narcissist or a negative, mean-spirited person in your life? What do you need to do? Do you need to stay around them or not? Can you walk away? Do you need to set up some platinum columns? Do you need to draw a circle around you and ask that anyone who's not in your life chart drop away so you clear away some of those negative people? You need to choose. Is this narcissist someone I need to be around? Is this mean-spirited person someone I need to be around? Am I supposed to change jobs? Am I supposed to change relationships? Am I being a doormat for them? Should I ask to be invisible? Is my lesson to cut our connecting cord? Know that your life can be better, that you have some tools you can use if you're around narcissists or mean-spirited people. And remember, not just everyone is mean is a narcissist. Remember, it could be someone who's in pain, someone who's been in war and is having PTSD. It could be many things. But if it's someone who's harmful to you, it doesn't matter if they are an official narcissist or not. If it's someone that you can disconnect from, then do it. You don't have to like everyone. You don't have to take care of everyone. Take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of your loved ones. But you need to make sure that you take care of yourself first. And remember, don't follow a loop and keep thinking about the same awful things that may be happening. Deal with them. Feel the emotions of them. And then let them go. Surround yourself with positive thoughts. Laugh, dance, do something silly, and raise your vibration. And it will make your life a bit easier. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you did. And I wish you a wonderful day, and remember to do something nice for yourself today. And especially try to find something to help you laugh today. Bye. See you next Wednesday.